In that thick forest, a beautiful woman caught sight of Bhima and approached him. "Oh, valiant one," she said, "I'm entranced by your beauty. The moment I laid eyes on you, I fell in love. Please marry me." But Bhima rejected her. The woman then pleaded, "Brave warrior, it's all right if you don't marry me. Let's at least leave this place first. There's a demon here named Hidimbasura. He can smell human flesh from far away and might come here at any moment. Please heed my warning." But Bhima, already in a fiery mood, responded, "I'm in no temper to run away. Let him come if he dares. I'll put an end to him." Sure enough, looking straight ahead, Bhima saw Hidimbasura, who was prowling around, hungry. The demon set his eyes on Bhima and felt a greedy thrill. If those 5 people were one full meal, Bhima alone felt like a feast to him. Immediately, a duel began between the two. The sounds of that ferocious battle were so loud that everyone woke up. "What's happening?" Kunti asked. The woman standing next to her replied, "Mother-in-law, the demon is fighting your son." Kunti turned to her in surprise. "Who are you, dear? Why do you call me mother-in-law?" "My name is Hidimbi," she answered. "I'm that demon's sister. When I saw your son, I fell in love with him and took on the form of a beautiful woman to approach him. Don't worry, nothing will happen to your boy. If he has survived my brother's onslaught for 5 minutes, that means he definitely has the upper hand." Sure enough, in a short while, Bhima slew Hidimbasura. At that, Hidimbi burst into tears. "My brother was the only family I had. You killed him and you rejected my love. You've driven away both my kin and my happiness." She wept. Kunti then consoled her son. "Bhima, this young woman may be a demoness, but love has transformed her into someone truly human. She even tried to protect us from her own demon brother. Marry her, my son." However, Kunti added a condition. "Demons grow very powerful at night, so during the day, you may live with her in these forests, but the moment dusk arrives, you must come back to me." Hearing this, Arjuna turned to Dharma Raja and asked, "Brother, what should we do now?" Dharma Raja replied, "For a while, let's remain here quietly, without letting anyone know of our whereabouts. We must stay here until the right moment arrives and then set out again. Right now, we're alone. We have no kingdom, no army, no resources. Once we rebuild all of that, we'll go back to Hastinapura. Remember, they've already tried to kill us once. If they learn that we're still alive, they'll stop at nothing. So let's wait until the time is right." Bhima agreed to marry Hidimbi, but he too imposed a condition. "I will stay with you only until we have a son. After that, I must leave you and rejoin my brothers." Hidimbi accepted. Meanwhile, in Hastinapura, everyone believed the Pandavas were dead. The citizens were overwhelmed with sorrow. Duryodhana also pretended to be deeply grieved, yet inwardly, he was rejoicing that what he had long desired had finally happened. "No one can stop me now," he exulted. "I alone am the king of Hastinapura." Time passed. Hidimbi gave birth to a son with Bhima, Ghatotkacha. Then came the moment for the Pandavas and Kunti to leave the forest. Bhima bade farewell to Hidimbi and their son, Ghatotkacha, and went on his way with his brothers. They arrived at a village where a Brahmin granted them shelter in his home. Disguised as Brahmins themselves, the Pandavas would go out daily to beg for alms. One day, Kunti saw the Brahmin who had taken them in, sitting alone in a room, sobbing bitterly. "Why are you so distressed?" she asked. The Brahmin explained, "Not far from here, in a mountain cave, there lives a demon named Bakasura. Whenever he's hungry, he ambushes people from this village, killing and eating them. Friends, would you believe that just by reading a truly most interesting story, one could forget life's worries? Or that simply by reading it aloud to your children, they could learn the deepest values needed for life? Would you believe there's a solution to any challenge you face, or will face, simply by reading one story? Yes, it's possible, but only with the greatest epic ever told in the history of mankind, the Mahabharata. This story is 100 times more enthralling than any blockbuster movie. It's a challenge. The complete story of the Mahabharata, in the words of Vikramaditya, is available in 2 volumes as both print books and ebooks on Amazon and 43 other online stores. It's published worldwide in 54 languages. You can find the purchase links in the description below this video. Order your copy right away, because it's not just a book, it's a whole library of wisdom that your life needs. The villagers had gone to Bakasura and made a pact with him. They said, "If you keep attacking us randomly to eat people, before long there will be no one left. Instead, every week we will load a large cart with rice and other food and send 2 strong bullocks to pull it. Spare us, please." But Bakasura countered, "Sure, but just rice alone? I've already tasted human flesh. A meal without human meat would be as incomplete as curd rice without salt. Along with the cart, send one person too." Left with no choice, they agreed. Each week, a person from one household would go along with the cart to the demon's cave. "This week, it's my turn," the Brahmin said tearfully. "I have to drive the cart there myself." Kunti reassured him, "You have provided us shelter. You need not fear. In your place my son will go." Alarmed, he replied, "But that means certain death for your son." Kunti insisted, "Either he dies, or Bakasura gets a taste of something he's never experienced before. Let's see which it'll be." "Kunti, instruct me," Bhima said. She told him, "Bhima, a cart is waiting outside our house. Drive it to the cave in the mountains." "Yes, mother," Bhima said. Heading outside, he saw a huge bullock cart piled high with food. Bhima climbed on and drove it toward the cave. On the way, the rich aroma of the food tempted him so much that he started eating it. Before long, in his cave, Bakasura awoke from slumber, catching the scent of human flesh. "Ah, my meal has arrived," he gloated and hurried outside. He saw the bullock cart, but all the vessels were empty, and there, lying atop the cart, was Bhima, sound asleep, having eaten everything. Startled, Bakasura shook him awake, demanding, "Where's my food?" Bhima smirked, "I ate it all myself. It's in my belly now. If you're planning to eat me, you'll find my flesh extra tasty, full of the meal I just devoured." Furious, Bakasura lunged to devour him. Just then, a thundering blow resounded through the air. The demon realized his nose was bleeding. Bhima had struck him full force. Outraged, Bakasura tried to kill Bhima. Bhima then seized his mace, and they began to fight in earnest. The uproar from their battle rattled everyone in the village. At first, the villagers trembled with fear, but then they rejoiced. Someone with the power to stand against Bakasura had finally arrived. By evening, the bullock cart returned to the village, but Bhima was not on top of it. Instead, a gigantic head was lying in the cart's large basket. Walking behind the cart, chest thrust forward and mace in hand, came Bhima, victorious. Bakasura's head he had lopped off and placed in the cart. The villagers' joy knew no bounds. "Surely the gods themselves have come, in the guise of Brahmins, to our village," they said in delight. A few days passed, and the entire village was getting ready to leave for a neighboring town. Arjuna asked someone, "Where's everyone off to?" They replied, "Our king is holding a swayamvara for his daughter, in which she chooses a groom of her choice, and there's going to be a grand feast for all." At the mention of a lavish banquet, Bhima's mouth watered. "Arjuna," he said, "let's go too. It's been ages since we enjoyed a proper feast. Don't say no." So the two set out. Upon arriving, they realized it was the Swayamvara of Draupadi, the daughter of King Drupada, the same Drupada they had battled years ago on behalf of Dronacharya. Friends, the next episode takes this story to another level. Don't miss it. Tune in next Saturday at the same time. In the meantime, order my Mahabharata books right now. Links are in the description below. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, do it immediately. Until then, take care. Bye.